Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about 10 mistakes you can make in Bed Wars. Now, a lot of these mistakes are not necessarily, it's not always a bad idea to do some of the things I'm going to mention, but in many situations it is, so do take it with a pinch or grain of salt, as they say, and I will, for some scenarios, explain situations where it is useful to do these things. For example, chainmail armor, I would usually never buy this item. However, a situation where it might be good is if your bed's gone and you're on a fast iron map, you've got lots of iron and you're in leather armor. That's a situation where you might want to buy chainmail armor. But usually this is way overpriced. 40 iron, it doesn't give you that much protection, and especially on slow iron maps it's much better to get 12 iron, so don't buy chainmail armor. Clay is an interesting one. It can be quite useful as like an in like solos and duos as a defense, just like clay and wool on a like fast iron map. But I see a lot of people use this like in 3s and 4s, and in my opinion 3s and 4s there's not really a place for clay in defenses. You're much better off using endstone and wood as kind of your base defense materials in 3s and 4s, and glass, of course obsidian is always good. In solos and duos, I think the best defenses usually just involve a 2-layer defenses. You don't want to make a big defense in solos and duos. Another mistake I see people do is getting an iron sword before they get armor. And sure, this is a very punishing strategy at the early game, and if you are good at PvP and confident in your skills, there is no there's no harm in doing this, I guess, if you're confident in your PvP skills. But if you die, you've just lost 7 gold, when you could have played a bit safer and maybe like bridged up and used TNT to get the bed, or you can just save it up for iron armor, which is what I would personally do, because once you use that iron sword and if you don't get the bed, well, you haven't really done much, have you? You've wasted 7 gold. Another mistake is buying Sharpness before you buy Minor Fatigue. Now, Sharpness can be useful instead of Minor Fatigue in certain situations where your bed is extremely safe, or people just aren't rushing you. You may want to get Sharpness, or if you have insane pressure on the remaining teams. But Minor Fatigue is just so useful because it slows down your opponents a lot, mining your defense, and it tells you when your bed's being destroyed. So if you are in a precarious or dangerous situation, you've got a bit more time to get out of there, while the Minor Fatigue slows down your opponent at mining your bed down. You know, Minor Fatigue is essential to some of the smaller defenses like single layer wall, especially on fast iron maps. If people try and shear your defense, it's Minor Fatigue that's going to save you. On the topic of diamonds, I would not really buy Forge before Protection. I think on some slow iron maps in duos it can be useful to buy Forge, but otherwise always buy Protection, Prot 4 before you really want to buy Forge. If your bed's gone, I've seen a lot of people, you know, they just spam the fireball button, and what happens actually is they run out of blocks. Now, I used to do this, by the way. It's not a lot of these mistakes I'm saying I see other people, but these are mistakes I used to make as well. And the issue is, the last thing you want to run out of is blocks when your bed's gone. Really, be careful when you buy stuff like fireballs and heavy iron items. You still want enough for blocks. In regards to bridging, there are a few mistakes. Do not flat bridge, because it means your bridge is just so accessible to your opponent. They can literally walk onto it with no blocks, and it takes them no time to get onto your bridge. Again, you do not want to, for your, like, if you're rushing Diamond Gen, for example, you do not want to 1-stack to build height. This is not ranked Bed Wars. Like, it's slow to go up a 1-stack, and this is much too high. Even if you do ladder clutch, it's slow to get up here, and if you don't, or don't have a way to reduce your full damage, then you're going to take a lot of full damage. You're much better off 3 or 4 stacking. As you can see, I can run up this bridge much easier because of the way I've spaced out the every time I go up a block. But what you don't want to do is just keep 3 stacking to the oblivion. Again, this isn't ranked Bed Wars. just because it's fast to go up, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go so high. Sure, again, it can be useful to 1 stack and 3 stack and flat bridge in certain situations, but most of the time, just a simple kind of go up 3 or 4 times on a 3 or 4 stack, and you're done. Another mistake I see people do, if they want a kind of deceptive defense where they extend it so the opponent doesn't know where the bed is, you do not want to extend it on the side closest to the gen, because if your opponent, if they kill you and you are respawning, they will most likely, if they're smart, mine in here, because then if you respawn, you have to make it all the way around to attack them. Whereas if your opponent's smart, they will not mine here, because when you respawn, you can hit them immediately, which is why you always want to, if you are going to make your defense long, as if to deceive your opponent as to where the defense is, you always want to extend it at the place furthest from the generator, not closest. Even if this does make your defense predictable in a sense, not all players do this, and it's still better, I would say. In regards to TNT, you do not want to place, the best place to place TNT is in the corner. Due to the way it explodes, it will do the most damage. So if you can, try and place it in the corner of the defense to optimize the damage it does. Diamond armor is a bit of a controversial one, and it is the last mistake on our list. I actually really like diamond armor. If I get prot 3 or 4 in a game, I might just get diamond armor, just because even though my prot's good, I want to maximize my protection. I think diamond armor can be a good investment if you've got emeralds at the beginning of the game and you don't have armor, because you're going to use that armor for the rest of the game and you don't have iron armor. And if you're clutching, it can be useful. You know, if you look at Luvenox's hacker clutches, he always buys diamond armor. So, and Gamer180 also really likes diamond armor. So I know there's a lot of like shunning of diamond armor in the bedwars scene, but there are situations, and there's definitely ways to use it where it's effective. But if you've already got iron armor, do not buy it, and iron armor will usually suffice. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just a few mistakes you make in bedwars. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.